General Hospital spoilers for the week of May 19, 2025 suggest that Lulu Spencer could score evidence. Isaiah Gannon and Jordan Ashford steal a moment together. Plus, Molly Lansing Davis seems to have an awkward moment with Cody Bell. So let's get started on what's coming up next week in the ABC soap opera. Next week, fans can expect Lulu to go on the hunt, so she likely knows where to go to gather evidence. When Lulu finally proves that Giovanni Gio Palmieri is Dante Falconeri and Brooke Lynn Quartermain's son, it could blow up just as Carly Spencer predicted. Plus, with Dante continuing to blame Gio for Rocco Falconeri's drinking, this isn't going to be a happy discovery for the father and son. There is a chance that the secret could blow up during the nurses' ball. Gio is getting up there to play a violin piece, so if the truth comes out during the ball, then Dante could angrily demand answers from Brooke Lynn. After all, Dante didn't even know she was pregnant, so that could lead to some outbursts. General Hospital spoilers for next week reveal that Molly and Cody will be at the nurses' ball as well. However, they end up in an awkward spot during the celebration. It seems that they will have to explain to a photographer or a reporter that they are just friends and nothing more. However, this seems more like a slow-burning romance, so maybe sparks will fly. Fans can also expect Jordan and Isaiah to share a special moment together. They seem to be a great couple, but their romance is on the back burner right now. That's because Jordan is busy working undercover to bust Jen Sidwell. The villain warned Jordan she wouldn't have much time for a social life. However, when Jordan kisses Isaiah, could Sidwell get suspicious? There is also Willow Tate Corinthos, who just got served. Although Willow and Drew Kane have hired Rick Lansing, there could be some more bombshells coming out. Speaking of Drew, he learned that Nina Reeves approached Jacinda recently. Ezra Boyle suggested that Drew paid Jacinda to disappear, but it actually gave the congressman a lead. So, will Drew have Jacinda found, blowing Nina and Willow's relationship sky high? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. General Hospital spoilers hint that all arrows seem to be pointing to a Michael Corinthos recast once the character returns to Port Charles. A tweet, which has since been deleted, from actor Robert Adamson last month hinted the show was looking for a recast. With that said, could this all be a swerve? As most fans know, the young and the restless alum Robert Adamson, who played Noah Newman at one point, also filled in for Chad Duell here and there, temporarily over the years as GH's Michael Corinthos. Adamson hopped on the social media platform X in April and relayed how disappointed he was that he was not asked to read for the part of Michael, considering how many times he jumped into the role on a moment's notice. Adamson would end up deleting the post, but this had fans buzzing about a Michael recast. The post seemed to suggest GH had a casting call for the role of Michael, but was this done to simply swerve fans? This could explain the reason why Adamson was never asked to read for the part. The show is currently setting up Michael for an explosive return, from Willow Tate Corinthos' rejected visit at the German clinic, thanks to Drew Kane and the custody battle, to Sasha Corbin's ever-growing belly and pregnancy. Michael will return to chaos and may add to the drama. As of this writing, no official announcement has been made about whether or not Chad Duell will return, or if a recast has been hired. Duell hasn't even hinted on social media as to whether or not he'd like to return. If the soap can keep things under wraps and catch fans off guard with Michael's return, this would be ideal as it would offer some nice shock value. Only time will tell. At the Quartermain Boathouse docks, Brooke Lynn hopes that her son is happy, healthy, and loved, and that today is special for him. Chase finds her in tears and asks what is wrong. She tells him that it's her son's birthday today. She can't stop thinking about him now that they are starting a family. Chase says she's been trying to bury this secret for years, and now it's being dug up, so of course she's thinking of him. Brooklyn cries she's been dreaming lately that he comes and finds her, and she'd do anything to meet her son. Chase says they can still look for her son, but she refuses. Her son must be the one who wants to find her, and Chase says that maybe someday he will. Brooklyn says if he's not curious and his life is whole, maybe she should be grateful. Chase tells her that makes her a great mom, and he can't wait until their baby comes. She realizes she's late for rehearsal and kisses him before leaving. Gio is rehearsing at the nurses' ball space. Lois is with him, and Sunny arrives and brings Donna in. The little girl asks him to play her song, so he plays Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Lois asks Sunny why he's here, and he says the kids are rehearsing their number down the hall, and Donna heard Gio playing and had to come over. Gio shifts and plays a song from Sleeping Beauty, and Donna twirls and dances to it. She asks if he'll play at her birthday party in September, and he says he will. She asks when his birthday is, and he says it's June 4th. Sunny practically has to drag Donna away and back to her rehearsal, and Gio continues to practice. Lois mumbles, "Happy birthday, Gio." Lois heads to the boathouse docks and runs into Chase. He says she just missed Brooklyn and assumes she came here for the same reason her daughter did. It's her grandson's birthday. They sit down to talk, and Lois says it was so hard for Brooklyn to go through labor and then give that kid up. She was so proud of her strength. Chase says not every mother would have handled it the way she did, and Brooklyn told him that she felt safe and loved because of her mom. Lois knows keeping this from Dante has to be brutal for Chase. He admits it's hard, but it's not his secret to tell. Lois wonders if she made a mistake not encouraging Brooklyn to keep her baby. He says she did the best she could, and Brooklyn was so young. He tells her to focus on the here and now, and wherever Brooklyn's son is, he has a family who loves him, and that's because of her. Lulu is on the phone at a coffee shop, calling about the St. Ignatius Catholic Adoption Agency in Brooklyn. Cody stumbles upon her and could have sworn Tracy said she dropped her adoption story. She confirmed she did, and she was only tying up some loose ends. Cody sits with her and says this article really hurt Brooklyn, and he keeps catching her and lies about it, so he needs the whole story. Lulu admits she's looking into finding Brooklyn's baby boy with Dante, whom she gave up for adoption. Cody is shocked, as he just assumed Brooklyn terminated the pregnancy because she never mentioned the baby again. Lulu says she didn't and explains how she accidentally uncovered that Brooklyn put her baby up for adoption. She says she confronted Brooklyn, who confirmed it. Cody never thought Brooklyn would keep a secret like this from Dante. She agrees, and though she tried to stay out of it, Dante has a son he doesn't know about, and it's not right. She says it's her problem, but Cody feels that, as someone who's been lied to for most of his life about who he is, he can't stay out of this either and wants to help. Lulu is relieved that finally someone has her back. He asks if they should tell Dante now, but she says she needs more information. She gets a call back and finds out the church closed its adoption agency in 1987. Therefore, Brooklyn couldn't have used them to put her baby up for adoption. Cody asks why she lied about using that agency. Lulu thinks Brooklyn lied because she knows where her son is, and she thinks Dante's son is Gio. At Lulu's, Christina covers with Dante and tells him that she was driving by the accident scene that night and saw what was left of Rick's car. Christina's saved by the bell when Rocco arrives home. She says she's so glad he's all right, and then takes off to watch Donna's nurse's ball rehearsal. Dante wants his son to tell him everything that happened at that beach party. Rocco tells him he was the one who decided to play the drinking game, and it's not Danny's fault. Dante says Danny shouldn't have left him alone, and not to defend him or Gio. Rocco says Gio didn't do anything wrong. He never even remembers seeing Gio, and he could barely keep his eyes open when Danny found him. Then, all of a sudden, Gio was there and he remembers he was so worried about getting in trouble. Rocco tells his father not to be mad at Gio or Danny, and he's the one who drank too much. Danny lashes out that Gio was the adult and should have called him Rocco's parent. Gio almost got him killed trying to keep him out of trouble. He can't think about losing his only child after losing Sam. Gio screwed up and this is on him. Back at the rehearsal space, Sonny checks back with Gio. Sonny has heard he had a few rough days. Gio says Rocco did, and it's all his fault. Sonny says he did the best he could with what he knew at the time. Gio notes Dan doesn't see it that way. Sonny feels Dante was afraid of losing his son and unloaded on the nearest target. Sonny doesn't think he did anything wrong, and in the future, if he's ever in a jam, call him. Christina arrives to see Donna's rehearsal but can't stop thinking about her slip-up about Rick's car with Dant. Eventually, she goes in to join her dad and Gio, and Brooklyn also arrives. They all listen to Gio as he plays for them. Rick stops by Alexis' office and wonders where she's going in such a hurry. She says the office is closed, but he wants to discuss their investment schedule. Alexis tells him this is embezzlement, and he and Ava have made a pretty penny so far, so get out now before they go to prison. And Molly gets hurt over his blackmailing her mother. Rick tells her that even if he decides to get out, that Ava won't. She tells him to leave Ava to her. Rick says he and Ava are in this together, so Alexis promises they'll go down together and tosses him out. She locks the door behind her and walks away from him. At Liz's, she asks Lucky why he cares what happened to Rick's car, which was totaled. He claims he's just concerned because he doesn't want her dragged into lawsuits. Lucas stops by with flowers to visit Liz. He says if it's a bad time, he can come back. Lucky says he has an errand to run, so it's a perfect time for him to visit. Lucky heads out, and Lucas apologizes for interrupting something. She says he didn't interrupt anything, and she was telling Lucky about Rick's new car. Lucas says that sounds very domestic, and given they are living together, the temperature has to be rising between them. Yes, she says it is, and it's incredible, but also terrifying. Liz says she loves Lucky, and she doesn't think there was ever a time she wasn't in love with him. They've always had an intense connection since they met. They've been through much together, and she wants to believe they can make it work this time. Lucas asks if she doesn't think it will work. Liz admits Lucky is the kind of guy who always leaves, and part of him always wants to be out and exploring. She is the opposite and likes to be settled. Lucas says Lucky could have changed over the years, but Liz isn't convinced. Her biggest fear is that Lucky would try to stay for her, but in the end, it wouldn't work out. Luke used to call Lucky Cowboy, and that's what he is, the guy riding off for the next adventure. He suggests she talk to Lucky. She knows he'll only promise to stay, and he'll really think he wants to stay, but he'd be lying. She worries she can't trust him to be honest with himself or her. Alexis arrives at a storage lot with a court order to access the unit that Ava rented and stashed Rick's car. However, it's no longer there when the guy opens it, only a piece of paper. Lucky arrives and finds Alexis fuming and throwing the crumpled paper on the ground. She asks why he's here. He says the same reason as her. He traced Rick's car here when it was supposed to have been destroyed. He knows the brake lines were cut, and he knows Christina did it. Lucky confesses he's known since the night of the accident and gives her the synopsis of what happened. He asks why Rick's lying about the insurance company taking the car. He's done everything he can to protect Christina and has even lied to Liz about this, so he deserves the truth. Alexis shows him the paper she found in the unit. It reads, "Looking for something?" She says Ava and Rick left that for her, and they are blackmailing her because they know Christina cut the brakes. They'll tell Molly if she stops paying them, and see to it that Christina is charged with attempted murder. Bradford Anderson, on General Hospital, teamed up with Kevin Rahm from Desperate Housewives and Lethal Weapon, and started their @GolfNotGolf social media account. They got ABC fans laughing at an amusing reel this week. Soon, serious golfers will have a chance to win an auction to play golf and enjoy a meal with the two men. However, if you follow them on the @golf account on Instagram, even those people who don't love the game of golf can get a giggle or two. The duo often gets up to amusing antics. Taking to his Instagram on May 8, Bradford and @golf jointly shared a post that revealed him receiving a trophy. Kevin read out a letter that clarified it had been delayed because of various hiccups. But then, while Bradford Anderson polished his impressive-looking trophy, Kevin Rom also produced one that he got. The caption said, "Kevin just happened to be sent a trophy that's taller than Bradford's." The bigger trophy outshone Bradford's in size. However, he didn't take it too badly. The funny bit came when the text overlay popped up. Instead of saying, "We're both winners," it said, "We're both winners, mistake or deliberate." Well, with the GH star, you never can tell. Some golfers follow Bradford Anderson and Kevin Rom on their pages, and they enjoy having them interested in the game. One of them wrote, "I honestly can't believe you have both won an event. This video amps my excitement to see you both tomorrow. You may be goobers, but you're our goobers." Well, that won't happen because Bradford's friend is getting married over the weekend. Other people who probably follow because of Damian Spinelli on the show also commented. One of them wrote, so funny." Another follower agreed, saying, "You two make me laugh." More followed, and with laughing emojis, a fan said, "Congrats to you both." Mocking the reel, another fan asked, "Is that the Ice Princess?" Probably they were referring to the Disney movie of the same name. Fans have had years to admire and love the actor who has been a recurring member of the cast for a long time. While he doesn't appear as often these days, he did make a comeback in 2020, and fans eagerly awaited more of Spinelli. What do you think about Bradford and Kevin posting their amusing reel on Instagram? Did you think that them both being wieners made it even funnier? Are you suspicious of their awards that they claim they won? Shout out in the comments below, and come back here often for all your General Hospital cast news and updates. General Hospital spoilers hint that Michael Corinthos' courtroom return could stun everyone. Did GH just reveal the Michael recast's first air date? Carly Spencer inadvertently created a mess when it came to Michael's divorce and custody proceedings. Since Carly figured it'd take a while to get a court date, she had Diane Miller move forward with scoring one. Based on what fans learned in the May 14 episode, Carly's in a bind since the judge managed to get it on the schedule awfully fast. Michael is still recovering at the clinic in Baden-Baden, so Carly clearly doesn't think he'll be well enough to appear on June 2 in court. That's why Carly plans to fight for Michael's children in his place. With Diane in her corner, Carly intends to use Drew Kane's recent scandal against him and try to get the kids out of the home he shares with Willow Corinthos. Of course, Drew has also been strategizing to help Willow, who has Rick Lansing as her new lawyer. Drew wants to paint Michael as an absentee dad who abandoned Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos, so he's ready to sink pretty low. This is shaping up to be a heated custody feud that's filled with twists and turns. However, the biggest shocker of all could happen if a Michael recast comes strutting through the courtroom doors. Now that GH writers are playing up June 2 as the court date, could that also be when a brand new actor will debut as Michael? Some leaks have pointed to a Michael recast being in the works, so the show will surely want to make a splash with the character's return. What could be more dramatic than Michael making an unexpected courtroom appearance and fighting for his kids? Michael could come home and reveal that his recovery is further along than anyone else realized. Carly, Drew, and Willow could all be caught off guard if Michael chooses this epic moment to return to the canvas. This might be Michael's chance to stand a bold stand and make it clear that he's a good father who absolutely wants his children. General Hospital spoilers say some custody strategy updates may be necessary in the end, so stay tuned for more news on the showdown that's brewing. General Hospital spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for Thursday, May 15, 2025. It shows Cody Bell going up against Lulu Spencer. Lucky Spencer gets suspicious. Plus, Brooklyn Quartermain wants to meet the little boy she gave up all those years ago. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in today's episode of the ABC soap opera. First off, Brooklyn makes an admission to Harrison Chase. BLQ admits that she would love to meet her little boy. Of course, Brooklyn also doesn't want to mess up his life or cause any pain. At the same time, there is a void in BLQ's heart. What nobody realizes is that BLQ's son is living under the same roof as her. Lucky Spencer investigates after talking to Elizabeth Liz Baldwin. Lucky gets suspicious. Since Lucky helped Christina Corinthos Davis cover up the accident, he knows Rick Lansing is lying about the black ice. In fact, Liz specifically remembers Rick mentioning his brakes weren't working right before the impact. So Lucky will want to know why Rick is lying. Speaking of Rick, he pops up and asks Alexis Davis why she's in such a hurry. Alexis did manage to get Damian Spinelli's help in finding the destroyed car. Then, Rick gets an offer, so it sounds like Ava Jerome's get-rich-again plan will be exposed soon enough. Unfortunately, that could lead to real consequences for Christina for the first time in her entire life. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Gio and Sonny Corinthos have a heart-to-heart. Meanwhile, Lulu has some kind of request for Cody. However, Cody wisely stays out of it. Since Cody is Dan Falconeri's good and longtime friend, he might not want to be involved in anything regarding the baby. Cody might insist that this thing is messy enough as it is. Lulu might justify why Cody should help her, but this thing is already complicated and will blow up a lot of lives. Also, Lucas Jones chats with Liz. So I wonder if Liz will open up to the surgeon. Could Lucas somehow get involved in the Rick/Ava mess? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most? General Hospital spoilers indicate that fans can feel as if Michael Corinthos' return is coming very soon. While a recast is likely slated for the character's comeback, could Michael return in a right place, right time situation and help Sasha Corbin deliver their baby? Soap babies very rarely enter this world in normal circumstances. They either come way too early or are delivered in a storm, a stopped elevator, an isolated cabin, or the side of the road. Baby Corinthos' entry into the land of Port Charles will likely not be any different. While Jason Morgan has done a stellar job watching over Sasha, as well as her baby, and pretending he's the biological father, even Jason can't be everywhere at once. Sasha isn't due for a couple of months, but that doesn't mean she may not have her baby early. Could some sort of disaster strike the little town? Possibly a hurricane/tornado, or maybe Sasha gets caught in the crossfire of a mob explosion. This may not happen in May, but it could happen sometime in June, closer to Sasha's due date. Early enough so that if she goes into labor, there will be concern, but not too early where the baby has a limited chance of survival. After all, it would be cruel for GH writers to have the young woman lose 2 babies after carrying them so close to delivery. If Sasha is stuck in a situation where she feels like she's by herself as she's having contractions, only for a returning Michael to swoop in, it would catch everyone off guard. It may also tease a possible reunion between Sasha and Michael as they bond over their newborn's arrival into this world, yet still having to remain hush-hush about Michael being the baby's bio dad. Happy birthday, dear Gio. It appears Gio is having a very merry unbirthday during the May 15, 2025 episode of General Hospital. The episode started out with Brooklyn talking out loud to the son she's never met, hoping he's having a good day. When Chase caught her, she admitted that today is her son's birthday. He comforted his wife like he always does. Things only got weirder from there. It being Brooklyn's son's birthday means it's Gio's, except when Gio showed up to rehearse his nurse's ball number, there wasn't a single mention of it being his birthday. He played a Disney princess song for Donna while Sunny and Lois chatted. And after Donna asked him to perform at her birthday party this year, she asked when his birthday was. No doubt shock shot across every GH viewer when Gio said, June 4th. Lois whispered a happy birthday to her grandson before she left, and now it's clear that Gio's adoptive parents changed his due date, and he has no idea that he's already 22. As if this web of lies wasn't bad enough, Lulu is on a mission to prove that Gio is Brooklyn and Dante's son. After Cody, who also may be about to discover what Ava and Rick are up to, overheard her doing some digging into the adoption agency Brooklyn used, he confronted her about her intentions. Lulu was forced to admit her suspicions about Gio, revealing that Brooklyn kept Dan's son from him all these years. Cody was left surprised by this newfound information, and after Lulu learned that the adoption agency closed up years before the baby was born, he decided he wanted to help Lulu find Dan's son. On the next GH, Tracy reassures Brooklyn Lulu is on the hunt, and Sunny seeks out Willow. In addition to Tracy reassuring Brooklyn, General Hospital spoilers for Friday, May 16, 2025, focus on Lulu hunting down the identity of Brooklyn and Dante's baby, and Ava counsels Portia, the latest on the adoption secret front. Tracy knows that Brooklyn gave up a baby for adoption when she was a teenager. She doesn't know, however, who the father is, and she tries to get Jason to search for the grown kid. After all, she wants her great-grandson to be a Quartermain. Meanwhile, Lulu is pretty sure she has stumbled onto every element of this scandalous story. She and Carly are the only ones, other than Lois and Gloria, who know all of it. To end the week of episodes, Lulu is on the hunt, presumably for confirmation that Gio is Brooklyn and Dante's son. And look for Tracy to reassure Brooklyn. She might tell her granddaughter that she got Lulu to drop the adoption article. Brooklyn should be very happy to hear that. Drew's name might get uttered a ton of times on Friday. First, Nina makes a big ask of Carly. Carly had no idea that a divorce date would be set so soon before Michael healed, but here they are. She says she's doing everything she can to prevent her grandkids from living with Drew. But that's what's happening, and so Willow got served, and Rick is representing her. If Nina asks Carly to reverse engineer what she let loose, how will Carly respond? Elsewhere, Nina's cohort in crime, Portia, turns to Ava. As Ava counsels Portia, will the two come up with a way for Portia to extricate herself from this hot mess? Drew is making her life hell. Curtis is onto her. Hopefully, Ava has some words of wisdom to share with the GH Chief of Staff. The latest episode of State of Mind had General Hospital star Maurice Benard getting emotional during his conversation with the young and the restless Lauralee Bell for the most heartwarming reason. Sohm host Benard admitted he didn't know Bell before having her on his podcast. But once they got chatting, their conversation flowed for nearly an hour. One of the most poignant parts of the episode was when Bell shared with Benard one of her favorite things about her late mother, Y and R creator Lee Philip Bell. What I love more than ever is that she really found her happiness. Where I find my happiness, where you find your happiness. In terms of being able to thank the fans on a more direct level, Bell began. So she would open up fan mail. She would call people and be like, I just want to thank you for watching. The actress revealed the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That's my biggest thing. We can't thank the fans enough. They're the reason we're here. Benard was left in awe of the elder Bell as she continued. I'd go into her office, and she'd have a pile of who she was going to call that day. That was pretty great. Daniel Goddard took advice from a former soap opera castmate about how to approach learning about his character and applies that method to this day. General Hospital's Jocelyn has her work cut out for her. The newly created secret agent has been tasked with finding out what PCU Professor Henry Dalton is up to. Based on information about his experiments on higher mammals, The WSB has speculated that he's working on some kind of weapon, perhaps biological. The character has intrigued viewers, and while they and Joss try to find out more about him, so does his portrayer Daniel Goddard. Goddard joined GH in April, bringing the mysterious Dalton to Port Charles. Poor Joss had to sabotage her frenemy Emma's data model so she could snag the research assistant job with him. So now she's in, and the tension mounts. Goddard opened up to Soap Central about what he knows about his character thus far, and it's not a lot. He explained that in the past, he had tried to learn what he could about his character, but not at GH. He hasn't followed what the fans are saying about his character, and likewise hasn't even watched any of his performances, noting, "I want to go on the journey. Just write for me and I will play it," is what Goddard told executive producer Frank Valentini when he first started on the show. He purposely chose not to know anything about the character, so his journey of discovery is the same as the viewers. When the actor played Kane on The Young and the Restless, co-star Peter Bergman told him that he doesn't pick the writer's brains, explaining, "I have never done that and I never will. I tell them I'll play it." Goddard took that mantra on as his own. He also revealed that Sidwell has a hand in Dalton's research, so that puts him directly between the baddie and super spy in the making, Joss. "I find that interesting," he stated, "and so do the viewers as they wonder what secrets about Dalton Joss will uncover." Lucky starts investigating Rick's claims about his car, while Cody refuses Lulu's request, and Dante continues his tirade. The next General Hospital spoilers video for Thursday, May 15, 2025, shows Brooke Lynn looking to find her son while Dante continues to trash-talk Gio, and Lucky's putting some pieces together. A teary-eyed Brooke Lynn tells Chase, "I would give anything to meet my son." Poor BLQ is torn because she doesn't want to tear lives apart, but she needs some closure from her teen pregnancy. She should be careful what she wishes for. Gio happily says to Donna, "In that case, I'd be honored." Meanwhile, Dante is on another rant and yells at Rocco, "Gio screwed up big time. This is on him. Why is Dante picking on Gio so much?" Cody tells Lulu, "No, sorry, that's not happening." Maybe she wants him to reveal the baby's secret to Dante. If so, he's better off staying out of it. Although if Dante ever finds out that Cody was in on the secret, their friendship could be in jeopardy. Lucky asks Alexis, "Why is Rick lying?" The weekly teasers state that Lucky does some digging. He knows Christina cut Rick's brakes, and Elizabeth told him that Rick claimed the insurance company took his car. So he's probably starting to put 2 and 2 together and may uncover Rick and Ava's blackmail plot. Oddly enough, Rick asks someone, "Where are you off to in such a hurry?" While elsewhere, Sonny says to another person, "I want to be the first person you call." The teasers also show that Gio confides in Sonny, so hopefully he's ratting out Dante for always attacking him. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.